welcome back to a Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. This is Bourbon Sauced, and we've got a guest with us this time. You want to introduce yourself so everybody knows?
Hello, everyone. I am Jessie, also known as Lady in the Bourbon on Instagram.
And you've got quite a plethora of bourbons yourself. Quite the connoisseur.
Yeah, I don't know how many. I have not counted my bottles. I'm kind of scared to do that.
Yeah, I know we're steadily climbing that mountain of a collection here. I think we're over 100 now, on our way to 200. So we're slowly growing our collection, but we drink a lot, so as fast as we get them, they go out too.
Ditto.
And this, ditto, yeah. This week we're gonna kind of do a review on the Van Winkle Lot B 12-year, right? So let's see if I can. Oh, that was a good one.
I like
now
it.
Let's get a pour here.
I like it.
Delicate. All right. So, right off, it's a beautiful bottle.
Wow, I
Elegant.
smell that, and I don't even have the glass up next to me.
We've got some merch. If anybody's curious, we've got glasses, hats, shirts. So right off the bat, it smells. I get a lot of vanilla notes in that one.
Yep, I got vanilla. I get some floral notes too.
Yeah.
A little bit of spice. It's very faint.
But this is, the last one right before they switch over to it being pappy.
Yep.
So it's like you're on that doorstep of greatness here when it comes to the Van Winkle line, I guess.
I got my bottle last year at Christmas, as well as the Old Rip.
Nice. Yeah, I kind of did the same thing at the same time.
Yep. And I liked this one better than the Old Rip 10-year.
Okay. Well, let's take a sip and see what it tastes like. Oh yeah.
Yep.
I would agree that is better than that 10-year.
Oh, I for me.
Yeah.
I definitely get a little bit of leatheriness.
But it is really smooth. There's a little bit of that initial burn.
I get it on the tip of my tongue. I get like this peppery.
Mm-hmm. But it is very, very smooth. I like it.
Is this your first go at it ever?
No, but this is the first. I think this is the first time you're trying it, right, Ryan?
This one, yeah.
Yeah.
And are you pleasantly surprised?
It's still not in my top 3.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's interesting though for the price, because all these bourbons have been inflated lately and the cost. I think this was $1,000 bottle at the time. It doesn't taste like $1,000 bourbon. You know what I mean?
No. No. Like I don't even know what I have to say.
I feel like I mean, honesty, like I'm kind of sitting here slightly sulking. Like I feel kind of let down.
Right. Yeah. I'm a little upset about it, because of the market right now, and these shouldn't be priced the way they're priced. It's ridiculous. And then we all know that they're kind of doing this to make them scarce. But
so I would say by no means am I downplaying the flavor profile and the quality of the bourbon.
Yeah.
But bang for buck?
No.
Not worth it. Yeah.
No.
So Jesse, what do you think about, like, if you were going to score this one for taste?
What's my
1 through 10?
Range? Like 1 to 10?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me go. I mean, it's good. I'm not like blown away.
Yeah.
I put it at like a 6.
Okay. Ryan?
I mean, it's right in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be about a 6.
Yeah, I was
It's
going to
not
give it a
too much.
5. And I'm a little I'm going to be a little harsh with it just because of the price point. For the price, I feel like the taste should be like way up there.
But we got to be impartial because we can't put the price with the taste. We're just rating the taste.
Yeah, but we do rate the price too. So
Yeah, but
We have to
that's
have like a
separate.
2-level price though, like suggested retail,
right.
actual price.
Yeah. Cuz suggested retail then I guess you're kind of getting what you pay for at that point, but
How loud is she on your end?
she's faint. But, I can still hear her.
Sorry.
I'm
It's
hard
okay.
of hearing.
Oh, you need me to turn your headphones up?
I hear you clear as a bell.
Well, that's cuz we're local.
Yeah.
Different.
I'm far away.
Yeah. Which state are you in right now?
Massachusetts.
Mass. Nice.
Yep.
You big Boston fan?
No.
Not a sports fan.
No, I am. I'm just not a Boston fan.
Are you a
Oh.
Patriots fan?
Yeah, I'm a Patriots fan, but only because I live in the state. Like football, I just would watch. Doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
I'm not a Boston Red Sox fan by any means. So I
You a
grew up.
Celtics fan?
Don't really watch the NBA,
Yeah.
Okay.
so I stop at college basketball because it's
Okay.
like good.
If you had to rate the smell on this one, 1 to 10.
So my bottle has been open for a little bit, and there's
You're
nothing
almost
to
to
the
the
nose,
bottom of that one.
really. There's not like much going on. Like,
Mm.
yeah, I get like, a little bit of spice or a little bit of oakiness. I do get the leather.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not mind blowing. Like, oh my God, I can't wait to try this because the nose is amazing.
Right.
A 4.
Okay. Ryan?
I was going to be about a 5.
Okay. I'm with Jesse on this one. I'm going 4. Like I said, I had high hopes going in.
High hope.
Yeah. I always have high hopes when we go into these reviews, but sometimes it tastes a little different when you're intoxicated.
I would like to have her on and do a review on the Willets.
Oh, have you done the Willets pot still?
I refuse.
Don't ever put that one in your cup. It's just not.
I am actually not a big Willet fan. I love going to the distillery. It's beautiful and but
Yeah.
other than that,
Right.
it's not on any. I have a pot still. It's unopened, just so it sits on the shelf.
Yeah, it's a pretty bottle. I'll give them that. The packaging's cool, but
I mean,
you're
I'm
gonna have something like that,
it,
make it taste good too.
like, make it a lamp. That's what I do with like the bottles I like. Make them lamps. So
I could do like a citronella. You know what I mean? Turn it into like a citronella.
Like for me, after tasting it, like price point for that, it should be like an $8 bottle.
I don't even know how much is it. I don't even know.
I think it was like $70.
It's like anywhere between $58 to $65 or $70, depending on the size of the bottle.
And I think depending on where you get it too, because like if we go out to the property out towards Eastern Kentucky, they're cheaper versus out here towards Clarksville, Tennessee. They price everything a little higher for whatever reason.
Yeah. I rate Fighting Cock higher than I rate that Willets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I was drinking. What was I drinking before this? E.H. Taylor small batch. Yes.
Nice.
I just drink it like it's water.
We love that one also. And the single barrel E.H. Taylor.
Yeah.
That's a house favorite.
Yep.
So a yes or no share?
I'd share this.
I have shared it. That's why I don't have a lot.
Right.
So I share it a lot. For somebody who comes over, they just got engaged. It's a birthday. This is the bottle that I share.
Nice. Yeah. So it's a share across the board.
I would share your bottle.
If it was your bottle, would you share it?
No,
No?
I wouldn't buy it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you'd have
Fair
nothing to
enough.
share.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's
No.
no.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm still trying to procure the actual Pappy bottles, but they're like impossible to find here locally, which is weird.
I live in Massachusetts. Like, do you know anything about this state? It's
Yeah.
horrible when it comes to
So do you have to order in a lot of your bottles?
No, I can't. A lot of the distributors don't ship to us.
Oh,
We're like one of
right.
like the 4 states in America that like suck. And
Right.
it's called Taxachusetts for a reason. So you think that they would let it all in and tax the shit out of it. But I mean, we just got Blue Run, and I love Blue Run, and we just got that like 2 months ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
In stereo.
So it's kind of difficult on some things, and then other things like we have, and someone else, like a friend in Michigan, doesn't.
Hmm.
And you're like, what? I don't know. But
Yeah, it's spotty for the bourbon and where they're going to drop it.
Yeah.
That I followed. Do you follow Dan the Bourbon Man?
Yeah.
He does a lot of, sharing where he finds stuff,
Mhm.
and it's amazing where he actually finds things. And I'm like, what? Where did you find that?
I've had a few people share stuff, or I've seen them, and I'm like, oh, I just stumbled in this package store, and I live in rural America, so I'm like trying to stumble into any package store I can find that I'm like, maybe this would be the one, and it's not.
So if you had to put a number on price point for this, based on what it's on the shelf price, not MSRP price.
Oh, like the bazillion dollars that they.
Yeah, the highly inflated price that they market at. What would you give this?
A 1. I mean, it's you're buying a fantasy.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's the best word to use, because and it's a shitty fantasy once you get it. To some people probably.
Yeah.
Like unless there's people that are like, oh my God, I got it, and they'll never open it and just sits on their shelf because they want to say they have it. That's not, no. It's very low. I wouldn't rate it high at all. Not for that price.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
Ryan?
I have paid $300 for a bottle that blows this out of the water.
Right. So what are you going to go negative, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to go negative. Yeah, I'm going to be like a negative 2 or 3 on this one.
I knew you were going to go that way.
I mean, I guess if I could give it an analogy, it would be like my one marriage.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Gotta go there.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna give it a 0.
Okay, so we have a little.
Yeah, a little
Sliding
variance
scale.
there. But for what they're asking for this bottle, it damn sure doesn't taste like $1,000 bottle of bourbon.
It's not even in my top 5.
No.
As I'm counting them in my head, it's not even in my top 5.
I think for the price that Willie's Distillery Big Horn is still way better than the 2 Rip Van Winkles that we've opened and done.
100% Kentucky Owl is better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the E.H. Taylor single barrel. Oh.
Yeah. If you haven't discovered Willie's Distillery and their Big Horn, you should get yourself a bottle of that and try it out. It is delicious.
It's made in Enos, Montana. So my buddy, close personal friend of ours, is medically retired military, packed himself and a horse up in a trailer, and hauled off to Wyoming to become a cowboy.
Yep.
So he's living his best life being a cowboy, and the one time he recommended a bourbon for me, I gagged and was not happy. So
you were skeptical for sure.
Yeah, I was very skeptical, but he was so sure on this that he covered the shipping cost. Like, I bought the bottle, but he, reimbursed me for the shipping.
Yeah.
I get it here. We do an interview, and I crack that bottle. I have yet to drink anything that will knock it out of my top 3.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good for being way out in Montana.
Now, some people don't like a smoother bourbon. This is definitely one of those smooth bourbons that you'll sit around and drink on, and it will hammer you.
Yeah,
He'll
it's
sneak up
smooth.
on you because
It's
you just
got
think it's so good.
Oh, it is. It is
it's
so good.
delicious. It's like almost like a dessert bourbon.
It's delicioso.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm not a fan of like the higher rye mash bills, and like Heaven's Door, for example.
Super high rye.
I like them, but they're just a little too much rye for me.
I'm not a fan of Heaven's Door. I have it, drank it, but it's not like when I'm staring at the shelf, I'm like, oh my God, that's the bottle I'm going to take right now over and over again. But I am a big fan of rye. Like,
oh, okay.
I like a high proof. I like the spiciness of rye.
What's your go-to rye right now?
Lately, I'm actually out of it.
It
So
was
I'm now
good.
working on.
She drank the whole bottle.
Yeah. I've been on the 10th Mountain.
Okay.
Pick their rye. I finished their just straight, their regular rye, but I have 2 single barrels from the Kentucky Bourbon Ball this past summer.
Yeah.
And that was the pick that Bourbon with Friends did, and it was it was even higher proof, and it's just like a cherry bomb.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, I use the distiller.com after we've done our little reviews to kind of see what they do. And I'm not sure. We've never figured out yet. I'm going to email them and ask them, when they do the reviews, do they do it just neat, or do they do it with neat and an ice cube? Because I'd be curious to see. Because as we all know, as soon as you put a cube in one,
or even like a
profile.
Couple. Sometimes if I'm like, think I want high proof, and I'm like, oh, that was a mistake. I'm not ready for that. Yeah. I haven't been drinking enough yet to go right into a 130. Like,
yeah.
I'll like just take some water and just, not a cube, just a little water, and all of a sudden it's like, all right, this is completely different.
Yeah. They have it at 4.5 stars, which is interesting. They give 4.5 stars.
That's what happens when you're paid to review.
Their top flavor tags are vanilla, sweet, and tiny bit of spicy. But then the description, let's see here. Aromas of cinnamon, baking spices, apples, and syrup. The palate shows pitted fruits, citrus rind, dried herbs, and maple candy. Quick, moderate finish with burnt sugars, egg custard, and vanilla beans. Almost a creme brulee, but stops just short. So it's kind of an interesting description for their expert notes. And out of 100, they gave it 89. So that's pretty high.
I gave it a 60.
Yeah. So I agree with what you said, Ryan. They definitely are getting paid, probably in some way, to do their reviews or whatever. But
yeah, 89.
I just don't think it's that high on my chart.
I do enjoy these unbiased wet your whistles.
Yeah,
it's very unbiased.
I do, and they're real,
very unfiltered.
Yeah, and they're real time reviews. We don't have any prep work for it. It's just we open it, we taste it.
So I could go back to what I was drinking before.
What were you drinking before?
The small batch, E.H. Taylor small batch. That's in my other glass. I had to make sure that the glasses were different, and one had like something on it, so I didn't mix them up.
That'd be funny. You're like, wait a minute.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
You're like, oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry. False advertising.
Because this is like, oh my God, way better.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just the name. Ever since I watched what was it? Pappygate. Did you watch that on like Netflix?
No, I didn't.
Dude, find your weekend for an hour and a half. Pappygate. I think it's Pappy something. And it's about like the guy that worked at Buffalo Trace and was like stealing the Pappy and selling it off the back of a truck.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's and I think it was a few years ago, like before COVID that came out. And, if we think about like bourbon and how it's like coming, it's like an ebb and flow. It was really shitty in like the 60s and 70s, like brown liquor. And then it was all clear liquor. And then it kind of started to come back. And then all these, think about how many distilleries there are now compared to even 5 years ago. And, after watching that, and then I like dove down a rabbit hole, on the internet, because that's easy to do at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, oh, this had to have been when everything changed. And people were like, oh, okay. This is like, if somebody's selling off the back of a truck, everybody knows what Pappy is now.
Right.
And you got to sell so much of something to get something else, like at a liquor store. The only way you're getting whatever from a distributor is
show volume.
Sell how many cases of Fireball to get your 3 bottles of Blood Oath Pack 9.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting because we, within an hour drive, we've got a bunch of liquor stores, and almost none of them have Pappy ever. And I'm like, we are so close to the distillery here. Why is it so hard to find? Why is this becoming a thing? But either way, it is what it is. It's kind of disappointing, though, when you do spend that money and then you taste it and you're like, come on.
Yeah.
So, rebuy or not, I'd say I'm not rebuying that one ever.
Just goes to show you.
Yes.
Yeah, hard pass.
Just because it's got a price tag on it, don't mean it's worth it.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could say that about a lot of things in life.
Smoke Wagon proves that.
Yeah, have you had Smoke Wagon?
Yeah, I have it sitting on the shelf. I haven't actually gone back to it in a while.
Yeah, it's pretty good, too.
For the price, that one is super impressive.
Yeah. Do you like E.H. Taylor's rye?
I've never had it.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Probably. I
got that one sitting over here too. The straight rye. It's pretty tasty. You're gonna show her the
ooh la
shelves.
la.
Yeah, our shelf jewelry.
Yeah, I like it.
And we keep it close between us when we're doing the podcast. So if we, decide we want to change it up, we could just grab something and change it up.
It's smart. Can I ask you guys, what is I'm always curious. I ask everyone this, even if they're like kind of not even into whiskey or something, or lightly into whiskey. What's your like budget whiskey?
A budget whiskey to buy?
Yeah. Like something that you're like, shit, for under 25 and under.
Okay.
Do you have one?
25 and under?
Yes.
Oh, shoot. I don't have anything on my shelf that's under that.
I don't even know if there's anything that we can actually find around here that's at that price.
There are some things, but they're not good.
No, even Buffalo Trace is like $33, $34.
I think Jim Beam is the only thing around here that is that price point.
What about, so my like budget bourbon that's on my shelf that's like a go-to for me is Evan Williams Bottle and Bond.
Evan Williams, okay.
Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, white label, green writing. Here it's like $20.
Wow.
And it's Bottle and Bond.
Yeah.
And it's delicious.
I think the lowest priced thing on my shelf is this Chattanooga whiskey.
Oh,
and the Old
Forester.
I've got
Bottle and Bond. Those are my two.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that Chattanooga whiskey Bottle and Bond.
I have never had Chattanooga.
It's okay.
Actually,
we have to do
my 4 bottles of Eagle Rare I got for $26 a bottle. So I would say Eagle Rare is my go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah. You did find that one at a great price. I think that store screwed up on their pricing, but hey, you benefited on that.
I sure did.
Yeah. Here it's like I was actually at liquor store. It's like 2 miles up from my house. Eagle Rare was on the shelf for like shit. Now I can't remember. They had Buffalo Trace and Eagle Rare, and I think the Eagle Rare was cheaper than the Buffalo Trace by like
sounds about right.
But it was like $49.99 and $59.99, and I was like, no.
Yeah. Now we do find Buffalo Trace every once in a while here for $35 a bottle, and when I do, I usually buy a bunch.
Yeah,
so,
I would say for you, Buffalo Trace is probably your go-to budget.
Yeah, that was my daily drinker.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Buffalo Trace is just.
I have like if I can and like a bottle comes, like in the big boy. I like try to buy all sizes, 375,
Yeah.
750, and then like it's like for show.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I got the same thing going on.
I have all like the makers. Makers is like something I have the most of, like all of the different makers, and, PIX and FAE and BEP and BRT, like whatever. I just want to try them all.
Yeah.
But I make sure that I got like every size from like the nip all the way up to like the biggest makers on the shelf, and just for show. Place.
Yeah, you gotta have a nice little bottle collection.
It's display.
It's kind of impressive when you have people over and they're like, "Oh, look at that!"
Yeah.
You got quite the collection. Like, yeah, I'm an
I'm a
an
connoisseur.
enthusiast. Yeah.
It would be Bullet.
For you?
Bullet?
Yeah,
Bullet?
Yeah, Bullet.
I can't.
It'll run you about $30.
Yeah.
Dependent.
Yeah.
I don't
Like that was my
Bullet.
first bourbon that I really like. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
And then just continued from
And then you went ooh to a lot of other ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Woodford's Reserve is a good go-to.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a really good go-to.
But they,
It's just
again, are
nothing
starting
like
to price that higher.
at a bar or something. Not like a whiskey bar. Like if I'm just like somewhere in Woodford, I'll take Woodford. Neat.
Yeah.
Neat. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a pretty safe bet.
It's always
That's why it's on the airlines, too.
Marriott always has it if they have a bar. Just an FYI. Travel a lot. Marriott always has Woodford.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think most of the Hiltons have that usually, too.
It's a good, it's solid.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You can't really, for the price that they get it, I'm sure it benefits them because they sell it at $10 a shot or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is your, since we talked about our budget bourbon, what is your top 3 bourbons?
Currently?
Yes.
Oh, that's so tough because it was okay. So one of them, and it's almost gone, and it was a single barrel, which kind of sucks because I won't get it again. But is Blue Run when they did their Mother's Day thing. I got one of their bottles, and Manette. It was based on one of the moms of like a founder or whatever. That Penelope Architect. It's
okay.
build 2 for me. Like and they're on like build 7 right now, but I've tried I think like 4 different builds, and build 2 was like my absolute favorite out of Penelope. I'm a big fan of Penelope, and this one might surprise you, but whenever I see it, I buy it, and it's like, and always I love it, is Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel.
Oh, okay. I do love me some Elijah Craig.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've gone through a few of those bottles.
It's a good one.
The single barrel.
Yeah, I have a pick that I did with a local distiller or liquor store, and it's delicious. Like so much that I'm milking the last bottle I have. I have one bottle that I'll like just keep because like the tater sticker is like my Instagram, and it's like me on the tater sticker. And I was like, oh, I can't ever open this one.
Yeah,
keep it forever.
Yeah, we've got a couple of bottles that we will probably never open. They're rare ones.
Yep,
they were limited runs or whatever. But
we have 2 bottles that are like. I'll open anything. If somebody comes over and something's out, that's me. There are 2 bottles in this house that are for specific dates. Anything else, I don't care. Like I just picked up pack 9 Blood Oath. If somebody comes over and is like, let's pop that. All right, let's do that. But
let's take a trip to Massachusetts.
Come,
right?
Dude, you guys come. You're like, oh, we're gonna go see snow and go skiing. Like, come over. We'll pop whatever. I don't care. There's nice. 2 bottles. There's a Jim Beam from 1982. So I'm going to date myself right now, the year I was born.
Okay.
Unopened.
I'm 2 years older than you, so that's fine.
So that's my 50th.
Okay.
And then my husband, we have another Jim Beam, and it's a decanter. Remember in like the 70s, they were
They get all fancy.
Yeah, it's a Norman Rockwell, and we're one town away from the Norman Rockwell Museum in Massachusetts,
Okay.
like this area or whatever. So it's a Norman Rockwell decanter, unopened, and from 1975. So that's for his 50th. So we got 2 more years before we can pop that. But anything else is fair game.
Nice.
So.
Yeah. I think the only things we have that will probably never be open is we got this horse soldier that we just got because we interviewed Mark. Got to hear his story and how they developed their bourbon and stuff. So he signed that bottle for us. So that one will probably never get open
as well. That a friend of mine got and gave to me, and he's not even a drinker. And I was like, thanks.
And then there's that Leatherwood distillery that they did
the custom run for 5th Special Forces Group.
Yeah, that'll probably never get open.
So
there's 2 of those in the house right now.
I'm just gonna assume that like I'm hanging out with veterans. Am I hanging out with veterans?
Ryan's still active duty. Nice.
Like not mine, I can tell you that. It's not mine. But it's definitely the state of Missouri.
Okay. So he did a little drill instructor time.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Yeah.
No brass, no ammo, drill sergeant.
But yeah, we got some bottles that we probably will never open. Otherwise, everything else, like you said, is fair game. When somebody comes over, it's like, what do you want? Just go ahead, grab something off the shelf.
People that I had people over on Sunday for what I call family dinner. It's just like friends come over and we do like a pot roast or like whatever. But they're kind of like, they enjoy whiskey, but they're not, like us.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, you guys got to try this. And what do you taste? And they're like, oh wow, this is really, I try to be very specific.
Yeah.
Like, because I kind of know what they like. And I'm like, oh, you need to try this. Oh, you like this? Oh, you need to try this. So
yeah, you're like, do you taste the cherries in that? And they're like, what?
Yeah, I've had that before. Sometimes like, do you taste? I got this RD1 single barrel finished in with Amberana staves, and it tastes like Thanksgiving apple pie. It literally is like apple, cinnamon, crust.
See, and that's the flavor profile I get when I drink the chicken cock is a very appley, cinnamony
graham cracker.
Yeah, graham crackery flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some tasty bourbons out there if people don't know yet. And, you can obviously look on like the distiller.com and get some idea if you have a profile that you think you like. And they'll kind of list, different ones in that flavor array, I guess. But
yeah, and just try stuff because you never know. Even if people, because what I taste and you guys taste just can be completely different. I mean, there might be some similar notes, but sometimes I'll taste something. People are like, "What?" I'm like, "No, seriously, it's corn based, clearly, but all I taste is cream corn."
Yeah. Sometimes that corn flavor just really crushes everything else.
It was like the one you read. You're like, there is a oat cereal.
Milky cereal flavor. Yeah,
cereal, and I'm like,
I did not taste the cereal at all.
I'm tasting shoe leather, not cereal.
No.
Yeah, when they get really specific, sometimes I question if when they're like, it's not even a memory. It's like random, like creme brulee with a cherry compote, and I'm like,
yeah,
do you even know what a compote is?
Right. Yeah, I do like some of those. I guess I would call it absurd.
Oh, they make
reviews of the note, and you're just like, what?
Okay,
I don't catch that flavor at all.
No,
okay.
I catch leather and some leather.
Yeah, I definitely get leather on a lot of these, which is strange, and oak. Some of them are super oaky.
Super oaky.
And it's just like, it's kind of
no flavor.
Tobacco, I get every once in a while, depending on like some of the E.H. Taylors for sure. You can taste tobacco.
I'm an ex-smoker, so if I get that taste, I'm like, oh.
I used to smoke too, ironically. And when we do cigars with them, then it usually pops that really well.
I have not gone down that path.
You should try it.
It's very interesting with the cigars and how certain cigars and certain
Everyone
bourbons
is doing
pair.
that. And I love like a cigar blend, like anything. And people are like,
Mhm.
you're supposed to, it's for a cigar. And I'm like, but I just like it as is. Like, what?
Yeah.
Right.
But if you do a pairing with the right cigar, it definitely brings out different flavor profiles, which is interesting.
I
Kind of like
follow,
with Bro Key.
like you guys probably do, like quite a few people that like do that, like Lewis, Bourbon Stills Mills, Anthony, the Bourbon Whiskey Library, and they post like, oh, I'm having this with this, and I'm like, I know
Mhm.
what the whiskey is. I have no idea what this is. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, but
Now, do you pair your whiskeys or your bourbons with food as well?
So I've done some private tastings at my house, and I do pair it with food, but not
Mhm.
like full meals. I
Okay.
do,
Okay.
like, okay, I know that I had this rare character, no, New England Barrel Company stout finish. It was like dark chocolate, and so I made brownies for the
Oh,
tasting,
okay.
and that was the last. It was like a 5. I think there were 5, and that was the last one because it was so heavy. I didn't want to like
Mhm.
have that in the middle, so I've tried to do when I do private tastings at the house, pair with something just to take a bite with.
Okay.
Interesting.
'Cause I love food and I love to cook.
Bourbon
So
and brownies.
Mm-hmm.
it was.
Well, yeah, people used to put rum and stuff in chocolate.
I mean, that stout
So
finish with a little dark chocolate enhanced brownie was, and it was like the tiniest little bite,
Oh, okay.
and then having like, okay, take a bite and then like try it, and then like go back to it, and like,
Mhm.
so
yeah, sometimes you eat like popcorn,
Yeah.
and then obviously like really enhances all the corn flavor and stuff, which is kind of neat. But I don't know. I do it with steak for sure. I'll pick different bourbons, and then like the ones that are finished in like different cask finishes,
Yep.
because those I think pair really great with steak, just because of the fact they're kind of like a wine finish,
Oh
and it
yeah.
really pops that red wine taste out of whatever they've been staved in. But
You know what? It pairs really well for me.
what?
Chicken
It's because you can't have
and
beef.
chicken
Yeah,
and chicken
And
and more chicken.
And a little
yeah,
chicken, just little.
he's got an allergy to beef.
I'm sorry.
'Cause-
It's miserable. It's been that way the last year and a half.
yeah, he got bit by a tick.
Forever?
It's might as well be. I keep getting rebit, so it just resets the enzyme levels.
Yeah,
Oh man, I'm sorry.
that's what happens when you live out in the country.
Yeah.
It just happens, and you don't put any preventative stuff for ticks, so you just keep getting bit.
I mean, it doesn't stop. I sprayed all the off and all that. It
Doesn't matter.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just gotta soak a pair of pants in permethrin. Like
No,
they made
thank
us do
you.
in the military, and then
No,
you're
thank
okay.
you.
No.
No, thank you.
Just get cancer later. It's fine.
It's fine.
No, thank you.
Then just fucking claim it. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
I mean, technically, I can already claim it. But
Yeah.
I don't want to go there.
All right. Well, this was a fun time. We
Yes.
could do this again. If you're free later. I
Anytime.
won't be back. I'm getting ready to take a trip, and I won't be back till March. But yeah, it's for work.
Yeah.
So when we get back, we're trying to catalog a lot of episodes. So while I'm gone, we can still push episodes out, so
Cool.
people don't kind of
Well, if there's
Hopefully,
any other
maybe
ones, I'm
do a couple while
totally
you're gone.
totally down for it.
down for
Sweet.
anything, even if we're just bullshitting and talking about some
Nice.
shit while we drink.
Yeah, that's kind of the premise of our podcast is we just drink
I noticed
and
that.
bullshit.
I was like,
Yeah.
Hence the
fun.
BS.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah, it's a good time.
It is. It is.
Sweet. Well, I appreciate
we're-
you guys inviting me. This has been awesome.
Oh,
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on.
There'll be more in the future.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
But until next time,
I'm empty.
we gotta pour some more so we can do our little
Yeah, we got to
toasty.
do our,
Oh, wait.
our cheers.
Oh, bye.
So I'll take this 4 out of 10 and pour a little to a cheers.
Yeah. So overall, I guess we never did. Do
Oh, yeah,
the,
we didn't do the overall.
the overall for this thing. It sounds like Jesse's going 4 out of 10.
Yeah, clearly. it's a grade. I mean,
Yeah, it's
it is what it is.
it is what it is. Ryan, what do you think for your
I
overall?
mean, with my
You can't go negative.
added on, I'm definitely right at a 4 overall.
Yeah. I'd say it's about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So we're all pretty much the same in agreement for that. But
price point totally killed its overall.
That's what it is.
yeah,
If we were just thinking $120, maybe. Everyone,
yeah,
maybe even 150.
Yeah,
right. Put this at the same price as you do Kentucky Owl, and I'd maybe raise the scores just a smidge. But even then, it's still not that impressive.
Agreed.
So, for having the name,
there's plenty more at that price point of 120, 150 that I would pick over it.
And being from the same, distillery that the legendary Pappy comes
Mhm.
from, the Family Reserve stuff.
Oh, speaking of Pappy, I know I talked about something else. Oh, watching the Pappy Gate. It's probably not called Pappy Gate, but look it up on Netflix because I can't really remember the full name. But the book Pappy Land is really interesting if you haven't read it yet. It's a short read, and it's about the Van Winkle family, and it has nothing to do with all of this bullshit. It's just what they made and how it was almost going to fall apart, and how Julian brought it back. The current, it's a short read. It's maybe 100 pages, and the book's only this big, and it's actually by a something Wright. I can't remember his first name. He's a sports writer.
And does it have pictures?
In the middle,
Is it in crayon?
No, it has pictures. It's like family.
And I might be able to get through the book.
My husband can't. He can't sit and read. So if he's doing something else, he just listens to books on tape, and that's how he listened to it.
Yeah,
but he
like
has
audio
pictures. So, but
pop-up books are my favorite.
Isn't everyone?
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people, look at me like, really? You're a grown man and you like pop-up books? I said, who said I was grown?
I like coloring books. So there's that.
So, piss off.
Yeah. Coloring books, because it's got a little story and you color it in yourself.
Oh, I 100% like coloring books, by God. And anybody that doesn't agree with that can just kiss my ass.
Yeah, it's like, you make your own comic book at that point.
I have coloring books and crayons and colored pencils and markers right over there.
Very peaceful. And I very much enjoy coloring inside the lines. So seeing somebody color outside of the lines, I'm like,
we're going to color together one day, and I'm going to do it intentionally, just to trigger. You're like,
no. I'm like, you're not 4 years old.
He starts twitching.
Yeah.
Inside me might be 4. You don't know. You don't know.
I mean, it's possible. It is. There's times that I would say you definitely have your 4-year-old moments.
Yeah, I throw tantrums every once in a while.
No, that's 2-year-old moments. Yeah. You have those very rare.
Yeah.
But your 4-year-old just scroll all over the place, you have those.
Yeah. Well, we digressed a little bit there.
But we do this. This is frequent.
Either way, this has been a treat having you on, Jesse. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys.
For those of you that don't know, we will put your Instagram link in the comment section in the description below so everybody can find that. You guys can find us at Bourbon Sauced on pretty much every platform out there, except for TikTok. It's Bourbon Sauce with a 1 at the end.
You're welcome.
Somebody made it oopsie, but it's fine. It works. People could still find it. Just takes a little looking.
After 30 days, we'll have a backup account, okay?
Yeah. But until next time, everybody, drink your favorite bourbon, get sauced, and
cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.